Hey everyone, Chris Roma here, aka Roma Aquatics, and today I am going to show you how to attach driftwood to tile with zip ties and masonry bit. Considering, if you can see the tank behind me right here, this log and that log were attached to the bottom with tile via hot glue, and apparently the lift strength was stronger than the hot glue because it did not last 2 days and then the wood was floating. So here's a new method. I'll show you how. Figured I'd show you guys how to do it. Well, here's the tank, and as you can see, the wood's floating on top, which I actually kind of like the look of now that it's been doing that for a day or two, especially this one right here. But I liked it better on the bottom. But I think I may put those two on the bottom, then see if I have a smaller one that I could float up towards the middle there. But basically, I had this piece of wood and that top piece there attached to a piece of tile that was under the sand here, along with a piece over here, a piece over here, and a piece over here. And as you can see, it did not last. It floated to the top. The hot glue, I think the tile was cold when I used the hot glue, so it didn't attach to the tile very well. That's my hypothesis, at least. But here we go. The first step that I already did, because I started this project before I thought about sharing it with you guys. But basically all I did, simple step, was take my drill, and wherever I wanted to attach the wood to the tile, I drilled a hole through the wood. So I drilled a hole there, and I drilled a hole somewhere in this vicinity. If I lift the light up, you can probably see it right there. So those holes go straight through the entire piece of wood. And I did the same on this other piece of wood. There's a hole right here. I know it's hard for you to see with that light right there. And a hole in that piece back there. So now if we go over here, I already pre-drilled one piece of tile, like I said, because I got a little ahead of myself on this one. But I used a masonry bit just to drill 2 holes in this piece of tile. But I'm going to go ahead and set up now so you can see me drilling the holes in the other ones. So here we go. Okay, so basically I have my masonry bit on the drill here. I put a piece of wood under the tile, so when I break through, it won't really make a big difference. So now all I'm going to do is go ahead and start drilling. Pick a spot that you like, not too close to the edge because it might risk cracking the tile. Takes a lot of pressure. Want to keep on pushing, and when it cracks through the porcelain on the other side, you're going to think you cracked the tile because it makes a real awful noise. So there we go, hole number 1. I'll do another hole for you, and then I think you guys get the picture. Basically what we're doing here is we're drilling holes for somewhere that zip tie can go through here. And it does take a lot of pressure. Keep on pushing. Just keep on pushing. I went to Home Depot. I got these masonry bits. About $3 for the bit. Basically it just says, this isn't even for tile, this bit, as you can see. It's cracking it to pieces. This is for brick and concrete. But it's getting the job done. And there we go, we have a piece of tile done. I'm just going to go ahead and do that for my other 2 pieces of tile. And we'll move on to the next step. Okay, we have our 4 pieces of tile drilled. No cracks, no incidents, so that's good. And by the way, I never mentioned why I was doing this. My past videos, I always used aquarium sealant. I was a little quick on the trigger with the hot glue because I didn't feel like waiting 24 hours for the aquarium sealant to dry on these guys. But now I'm in the predicament where the hot glue worked for a little bit, so the next day I went ahead and super glued all the plants to the wood. And now I'm in the predicament where I either have to rip all the plants off and re-glue them if I wanted to aquarium seal the plants or wood down, which I don't want to do that. I want to leave the plants on there if I can. I want to find a way to attach this wood to the bottom without having to wait 24 hours for the aquarium sealant to dry, because it'll kill my plants. So basically I thought of this idea with the zip ties and the tile, so hopefully we'll see how this works. But let's go ahead and get the tile attached to the wood and get it under the sand and get this baby rolling. Right, guys, let's do this. This may not be the best view in the house, but it's the best I could rig up because I haven't been able to afford a decent tripod yet. But you guys keep watching, eventually I'll be able to buy one. But I got my tile here, my zip cords here, and I probably should go grab a pair of scissors. Oh, right behind me. Be right back. There's my scissors. All right. So, let's do this. So basically, I'm going to do this one first because it's bigger and I like it better. And if it doesn't adjust right, then the other one doesn't fit the way I want it to, I'd rather have to move the other one than this one. I'm actually going to start from the bottom of the tile and go in and go through, because I want the end to be on the bottom. So something like that. And then I'm actually going to have to move the camera up because I think you guys are looking at the wrong log here. It's the one down there. It's going to be a hard view for you, but hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Basically, I'm just going to put this so when I flip this over, this tile is going to be on the bottom. And I guess I did it so the knot's on the top, but whatever. I'm going to roll with it. It'll be covered in sand anyway. I'm thinking we want to make this as tight as possible because it's looking like if that tile can move, that wood could move. So I'm hoping that this is one zip tie per tile is going to be enough, but it looks like I might need to put another one, but we'll find out in a minute. So now that zip tie is tight, I'm just going to cut it off. And do the same thing on the other end. Add some stuff. Oops, you didn't hear that. Shh, don't tell anyone. Okay, so the next piece of tile. Going in. I don't really know if it's better to have the ceramic side or the porcelain side up, so I'm just gonna let fate deal out the cards. However I pick up the tile and put it on there, and then I'll know for next time. Sorry if that pump's kind of loud. The phone's like right next to the PVC, like the airline. So, my bad. I could turn it off, but I'm not gonna, because that would endanger my shrimp and so forth. Now what just happened there, I had to pull it out because I had the zip tie twisted backwards. So you really kind of want to pay attention to how you're doing this one, but I'm trying to move kind of fast because it's a video as usual. That's the downfall of trying to make videos, because if you go too slow, people get bored and they don't watch anymore. So you gotta try to go fast, but haste makes waste. So then you mess up. But people like watching you mess up, so I guess it's a win if you mess up, because then you get more views. But you got more work too. So trade-off. Alright, so both of those pieces of tile are in. I think I'm going to move this tile Awesome. Bad news is I couldn't get it in the exact same spot it was last time. Last time it was a little bit more over and that corner was a little bit farther back. But I'm just gonna have to work with it. So I don't know. I think I could still make it work with this log over here and make it look real nice. So here we go, log number 2. Okay guys, I was doing a test run and I'm so glad I did on this one, because it turns out I mixed up one of the branches when I drilled, and it was not one of the branches that I actually wanted on the ground. So you see, I don't know if you can see right there, that's a little left over of the hot glue. So it was that little branch and over there. Those little branches aren't big enough to drill, and I'm not going to put the zip tie through the hot glue because I don't trust that, and I'm not going to have this floating up on me again. But I found that if I arrange this log in such a way where the back tile, the corner's still in the same spot I had it, but I just push down those little ones, I could get this right in here. Can you see that? Down in the same, I'm going to turn you because I don't know if you can see it, and I hope you can. But right here, I'm going to use the drill a hole in that wood right here in this piece of wood, and I'm going to use the same exact zip tie, and I'm just going to zip tie it to use the same tile and just zip tie this wood to the other zip tie that's in the other wood, and we should be good to go. So I'm glad we did that test run because it changed the design of how I'm going to do it, and I don't think it would have worked the other way anyway. It would have been a mistake. Alright, so I changed out the drill bit to a wood bit. We're going to go ahead and get this drill, or this hole drilled. Easier said than done, because now I got to get this stick out of the tank. There we go. Nice. Alright, so here we go. So here's the end result after drilling the hole. I tried to drill it on camera, but I guess I didn't hit the record button, and I thought I did. Fingers must have been wet. But anyway, you didn't need to see me drilling. There's a hole in it, same way there's a hole before. And the other side already has a hole. So now it's tile time. So I just went ahead and I took the log out. Since this one's smaller, it'll be easier to do outside of the tank. So I'm just going to go ahead and thread my zip line through. Actually, let's get the knot on the bottom. So I'm going to thread it through this way. Actually get it on the bottom this time instead of just pretending. Through the wood. And then through the tile again. That's the secret. You can't go from hole to hole on the tile. You have to go whole wood tile if you want the knot on the bottom. That's the mistake I made the first time by pre-threading. But it really doesn't matter. Really, it's going to be under the sand or whatever substrate you happen to be using. Go ahead and get this nice and tight. And actually, FYI, it seems to be easier to tighten with it on top. Doesn't want to slide as easy on the bottom. But now we got that piece of tile attached. I'm going to go ahead and cut the line here. And we have our tile on our wood. And the other piece is going to go from zip line, and I'm going to try to tuck it through the piece of zip line that's attaching the other wood. So both of those will be attached to the same tile. We'll see if I can get that done. But here we go. I'm gonna do a little preparing before I put the wood in, now that I have that option, rather than the wood just flying everywhere. Got this tank aquascaped pretty nicely too. If you check out my past videos, it was a little upsetting when I knew that I was basically going to have to rip apart everything that I did. It actually looks pretty good just floating there like that. Let's see. I think I like that better. Kind of wish I didn't drill that hole now, but it will just be a place for me to stick moss now. we'll leave the tank just like that. I think that looks fantastic. Well, I'm going to move the rocks around and stuff, but as far as the wood goes, I am pretty happy with that. Looks very good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and fix the rocks and the plants and get a nice shot of this after it clears up. Okay, so I think it looks good so far. Pretty much done with it. If I leave it as a guppy tank or a neo tank, but I'm leaning towards making it a pure redline tank, so I'm going to need to get some buffering substrate in here and use my shrimp towers. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do with that is this rock pile right here, I'm probably going to move to either that corner or that corner, and then I'm going to have a bow of black plastic mesh that comes out and bows out and then comes about halfway up the tank and about halfway out into the tank right under that wood there, and then there'll be a black shelf full of approximately 12 liters of Brightwell soil, and that's the plan. But for now I'm going to leave the rocks there until I get around to making that black plastic mesh barrier, and at that point I think I'm going to make another video on how to do it, because I've been getting a lot of questions about my shrimp towers and my stuff. These guys, my substrate holder towers, my buffer towers. So all the lights are over here off on these tanks to prevent the glare from the video, but as you can see I have the shrimp towers, and there is the buffering substrate. This tank is pretty much every Caridina tank has those shrimp towers for the substrate. So I'm gonna end up putting them in here, but I guess that's it for now. Until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your day / night. See you next time. Later, fish fam.